Hello, Sister Lupe. I'm gonna answer the 5 questions for the final exam. The first question is, what's the value of having the ability to analyze and thinking critically? Analyze and thinking critically means you have the ability to analyze and thinking clearly and rationally. You can understand it and identify or debate about the essay with your own opinions. The value of the critical thinking or analyze is help you to improve your thinking skills. That's important skills you can apply in your future life. And you can analyze and think about the topic more details with critical thinking and have your own opinion on the issues. It also helps you with your judgment. And critical thinking is help you to solve the problems, whatever in your life or in your essay. Cause use the critical thinking, you can analyze the essay with both sides of the issues and make your own judgment. Critical thinking also help you to improve the language and the presentation skills, because thinking clearly can improve the way we express our ideas. It's helpful for our presentation. Critical thinking also improves the comprehension abilities. Through the critical analysis, we can evaluate the ideas, which one is better, so we can choose the better one. That means critical thinking is a tool for self-evaluation. The second question is, define what formalism is and provide 3 examples of this from the novel you read for your group presentation. Make sure to connect your example to formalism. Formalism is the critical thinking use literary elements to analyze, interpret, or evaluate the paper or the essay. In the book, which is Hawaii Story, author used critical thinking to describe herself, which is the main character of this book, the Queen. How she feel about some of the issues, such as should Hawaii combine to United States? And she also write down her thought, use critical thinking. She used the plot with critical thinking for many things happened in the book. Such as one of the example is the competition between her brother the king and a queen. The competition for the who gonna take over the government. She also used the first point of view wrote this book, because she is the main character who the author wrote this book, and she's supposed to be the first point of view. You can find a lot of the formalism in the literary elements in this book. And the third question is, compare and contrast a character from your group novel with a character from Charlie. Answer the question, so what, by the end of your analysis. The book Hawaii Story describes the growth of the Queen from childhood to the Queen of the Hawaii. The whole book represents what the Queen grew up. So she learned a lot from her travel to the mainland US, to England, know the different person, and she also learned a lot from her brother and sister and her husband. Within these stories, after the chapter going on, she learned more abilities to be a queen, so which represents the grow up. In Charlie's story, Charlie is a person who grew up in the spiritually. So she start from the non-members, and she know the church, know the gospel, and she believe within God and baptized. And after she take the lessons from the church, she know how to serve other peoples and be honest. And after that, she has the babies. Even when the end of her life, she also want to meet her child and her husband in the heaven. So those two characters have the connections with each other. Within the two different books, they all represent the same thing: is grow up. They make change every day to gain the experience, whatever in the spiritually or in physically. The queen have the physically grow up, the Charlie has the spiritually grow up. So that applies to the question, so what? So we can conclude that learn can change a person's life, and the change is important to our life. If we not change, we cannot make any improvement. And the next question is, using the IRAC method of analysis, what is your conclusion to the question? Is it necessary to date other young adults of the same faith in order to find a happy and long-lasting relationship? So my conclusion in the IRAC paper is, it is not necessary to date other young adults who have the same faith in order to find a happy and long-lasting relationship. In my papers, I have some point of views to describe this. So date with non-members also reasonable, but some of the church members, they willing to date with members because members, they think all the members will be honest, and I think we cannot restrict our dating areas within the church. Even though members will be better choice, but some of non-members, they are also the good persons. It's worth for us to date with. But there are a lot of obstructive between members and non-members. So non-members look at the LDS, they think this group of people is different. We look at the non-members, we think they are not honest. And the issues such as we not drink alcohol, and we have the word of wisdom, we have something need to follow, and with a different person who has the different religions, we don't have the same topic maybe, and it's hard to communicate with date. But it is possible to overcome all the things to gain a happy relationship. All the things I mentioned above, I believe we can overcome it. But we'd better choose the non-members who are the good person and who has the potential to convert to the church. And it is worth to date with non-members. Also, date with non-members are the important missionary work. Missionary work is important for every members in our whole life, and I believe everyone have the chance to know the gospel. Heavenly Father gave us the opportunity to share the gospel to our date, which is non-members, and they also have the chance to choose they baptize or not. It's their own choice. But at least we need to let them know the gospel. So we can imply this to the Charlie's stories. Charlie is not a member at the first time. After know the gospel from the return missionaries, she baptized, and they have a happily family. It's a perfect example for these issues. The last question is summarize what your thesis is for your paper, and the main point you provide to support it. At the end, explain what you have learned through working on this paper, whether it's something you have learned about the topic you choose, or something you have learned from the process. My thesis in the research paper is children should learn to obey their parents in all their decisions before 18 in order to maximize their future opportunities. I have 4 points to support my opinions. The first one is parents have more experience than ours. We can see that obviously, because we know parents live a long time in the society. They have more experience in making decisions or choice, and I believe their choice will be more accurate than ours. And the second point is parent decisions help children develop the skills. That's in China, parents want the children to learn something when they are childhood, such as pianos or other instruments, and even a second language or the more knowledge. Even though you don't want to learn that, but when you grow up, you will find out it's really important in your future career or your life. For the instrument, if you know how to play the guitar or the pianos, you can show your talent to other people. It's really attractive. So if you know a second language, you can find a job in the country which you learn language from. It's help you to gain the more opportunities, and you also can communicate with the people from the other countries. If you have more knowledge, you have a big advantage in the competition. So the next one is the culture influence. In China, obey parents is the basic rules. I think they apply for the most of the Asian countries, Japan and Korean. And the last point I support my thesis is children need parents' support. If you choose a different school which your parents choose, you may hard to gain the support from your parents, because parents are more willing to put the money in the decision they made, not you made. And at last, I will say something about what I learned from this class. The first thing I learned is critical thinking. That we mentioned a lot in the class. It's really helpful for me to develop my thinking skills, to analyze the questions, to debate what's both of the side and makes the right decision. It's really helped me for the future life. And I also learned from the research paper and is the MLA style of citation. I don't know much about the citation before, and I know a lot. I also learned what the professional papers looks like, the format for the papers. It should be applied for my English 315 class. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, Sister Lupe. Bye.